Oh, it's going to be scary, kids. It's going to be a scary show today. How you doing, everybody? It's Dave TV for the 10th of August, 2012. How you doing? It's kind of rainy this morning, so I got the lights on. Oh, wow. Interesting. You know, one of my favorite gripes on this station, one of the things I love to bitch about all the time is WMAL. I just think that the problem with that station is it has so much potential with that AM and FM signal now. They added the FM signal back in September, and they have so much potential. You know, this is a wonky talk market, and politics is big in this market. So why is this AM FM, better FM signal station with politics at its core, as its topics, doing so poorly in the ratings? You know, ever since they added the signal, the ratings have dropped a bit, and now they're down to 16th, 17th, 18th place in the ratings every week. And you're wondering what's going on. So anyhow, yesterday we get the big news that Cumulus, which owns the station, they bought out Citadel back in September when they flipped on the FMer there on 105.9. And Cumulus, which owns the station, they bought the whole Citadel cluster. So they're a huge owner now. They're one of I think the top 3 or so radio owner of the country. Anyhow, they noticed that the revenues are dropping, but also they noticed that their news talk stations are underperforming. You know, they own a bunch of news talk stations around the country, like WBAP in Dallas and KGO, or KGO in San Francisco, and they own WABC in New York, and they also own WMAL here in DC. And what we're hearing from a lot of my radio sources is that WMAL is one of their more underperforming stations. Now, that's not a surprise to me because I have sat here on my big fat ass for months and months and months just bitching about what's wrong with WMAL, and nothing ever seems to get done. You know, the guys that run Citadel's DC complex here, Sam Rogers, the former CBS guy who oversaw one of CBS's poorer top 10 clusters and really kind of ran into the ditch as far as I'm concerned, who's now over at Cumulus here in DC. And Bill Hess, who's, again, likes to sit on his ass and keep the chair warm, as far as I'm concerned. They're running Citadel here in Washington, or Cumulus here in Washington, and I just bitch about what they need to do to fix WMAL, and nothing ever gets done. Okay? So let's do it again. We'll go through this one more time. Okay? WMAL needs, number one, first and foremost, they need to get a better morning show. The morning show is broken, okay? I don't like Brian Wilson. Now, I don't like Brian Wilson as a radio personality. I always liked him as a newsman. I think that's where he excels. When he was with Channel 5, when he was with Fox News, I thought he was a very good newsman. But I don't think, just being a good newsman doesn't mean you're going to be good on the radio. He just doesn't have that I don't know what it is. You're either good on the radio or you're not, and he just doesn't have it. He comes across as kind of a pesky grumpy old Texas dude, It just doesn't work. I have said, if you want to take the current crop of what WMAL's got, Brian Neiman paired with Mary Catherine Ham, who got discharged back in she had a discharge. She got discharged back in, May or March. She got, I think that they together, and they're testing them out this week, it seems like, because she's back here for a third day this week with Brian Neiman on vacation. But I really think that perhaps Mary Catherine and Brian Neiman paired together would be better than Brian and Brian. I don't know. If that doesn't work, then try something else. But WMAL needs to do something about that morning show because it just doesn't click. It hasn't clicked in a long time. It hasn't clicked, really, since Grandy and Fred and Grandy, who were united for one day yesterday in WTNT, and they sounded pretty good since Grandy and Andy Parks and Fred Grandy were hosting it a couple years ago. So they need to fix the morning show. Desperately do need to fix it. They need to make the show and their other shows a better mix of all the talk, political persuasions in the market. Okay, I'm not saying they shouldn't lean to the right. That's okay. But, they need to mix it all up more. They need to have more diversity in their opinion. Okay, more women, more blacks, more young, a little, mix it up. And don't just have those you know, old Prince William County dudes calling in one after the other, and their same right-wing stamps. Don't have a Heritage Foundation-sponsored morning show, which is at least what it sounds like. Mix it up, okay? That's what they need to do. And that's, you know, okay, so new morning show, better morning show, 1. Mix up that political stuff, 2. But that, again, doesn't mean you can't be a right-wing station. 3, better news department. Again, I think they have made a few improvements. You know, I like Jamie Coughlin, although her voice kind of sounds a little sing-songy. They know their news department is getting better, but it's still, when you're competing with WTOP, which is, you know, a huge megalith Death Star, and you're competing with New All News or WNEW, you know, up and coming, you know, you need to have a decent, sizable news department, and you also need to have it 24/7. You can't be farming out the news to Total Traffic or whoever that is on the weekends and on the overnights. You need to have it going 24/7. So that's what they need to do. And that's going to cost a little money. And the other thing WMAL needs to do, I'm talking about mixing up my stations here. WMAL needs to do is a live and local afternoon show. If you're gonna, you know, if you're gonna be doing local talk, you need to have those morning and afternoon drive shows live and local. Okay, you can't be doing Sean Hannity from 3 to 6. You just can't be doing that. Now you can move Sean Hannity tape delayed somewhere, I don't know, or run, you know, maybe Sean Hannity from 3 to 4, and then start your afternoon drive show at 4. I don't know, but you need to do an live and local afternoon drive show with, you know, strong talents. You know, somebody like, you know, oh gosh, if they could get Major Garrett, that would be great. Maybe bring back Chris Core. Get some decent talent in there. So that's another pillar. And the other thing I would have to say is, so that's 1, better morning show. 2, more diversity of opinion. 3, better news department. 4, live and local afternoon drive show. And 5, perhaps get rid of the douchebag that does the 9 to 6. Get rid of the douchebag that does the 9 to noon show, Chris Plante. He's an idiot. Just a effing idiot. They need to have somebody in there who's going to be a little more, who has a brain. You know, the guy's just a clown, and he's an embarrassment to the station, and he probably chases away, just having him on there probably chases away more advertisers. That, you know, that's not what the station needs to do. He's such a dope. They just need to get rid of him. He's tone him down or lobotomize him or something. I don't know what. But the guy's just a clown, and he's really bad for the station and its image. And now Chris might be able to be salvaged as maybe part of a drive show. You know, you maybe put him on the afternoon drive show as one element of that show. That might work, because, you know, you could have 2 sane people and a nutty Chris there mixing it up, and it might work. But to have Chris doing his own show, I don't know. It just, you know, I realize he has a cadre of crazies that love him, but I just think it hurts the station. I really do. So those are the 5 things I think WMAL should do to make itself better. I don't know if Lou Dickey down in Atlanta is listening, but, you know, I've said it before. I'll say it again. That's what they need to do to fix themselves. And you know, and I think if they do those 5 things, I think it will be a much better station. They may actually be back in the top 10, back when they were only on 6:30 there back a couple of years ago. You know, I thought that they probably thought we would go to 105.9, we're going to really shoot up in the ratings, and you know what? They didn't, because it's a mismanaged station. Cumulus, you know, Citadel mismanaged that station for so many years, and Cumulus comes in and they're doing pretty much the same thing, business as usual. So that's what I think. All right, folks, that's Dave TV for today. Is there any other big news down the pike? The 2nd anniversary after the launch of TBD. What a joke. What a joke. Eric Wemple, another one of his, you know, Eric Wemple. Don't get me started on Eric Wemple. Dumb name. He chose that dumb name, TBD, and it's sunken. It's like, you know, Eric Wemple, captain of the journalism's Titanic. And then, you know, that's perfect. The perfect example of what's wrong with the Washington Post hiring goofballs like Eric Wemple. Don't get me started. Thanks for watching Dave TV for this 10th of August, 2012. live long, and prosper.